With the 70th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Isaac Slaughter, wide receiver, Arkansas. One prize.
And remember, he started his career in Michigan.
So, of course, the Motor City just added a Tesla. And this kid is really good from Arkansas.
Green, though, is going to throw on first down. Corner route. Tesla caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. Perfect.
With the 72nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Landon Jackson, defensive end, Arkansas.
Someone who just elevated through the entire process. I thought he was a top 50 player in this class.
Reed in trouble. There's Landon Jackson, his first sack of the year. First team All-SEC pass rusher last year.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I don't think anyone had Isaac Tesla going before Landon Jackson. Tommy, did you have him going before Landon Jackson? I don't know a single Arkansas person. I don't know a single draft person that had that happening. 2 Arkansas Razorbacks drafted over the course of this weekend. Landon goes 72 to the Buffalo Bills. Isaac goes to his hometown team, the Detroit Lions, at number 70. It's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. I know there's going to be hot takes from the NFL draft. Most notably, seemingly around Shedeur Sanders, who was the most talked about player this weekend. Hot takes about this baseball team that dropped another series. First time in nearly a decade that they've lost 3 straight SEC series. And also some positive hot takes. How about the women's softball team going to College Station, Texas? Biggest series road win in the history of their program. I feel like each time we talk about Courtney Deifel's team, there's something else positive we could talk. We want them to wind up eventually in Oklahoma City, but plenty to get to here on a Hot Take Monday.
Yeah, it's brought to you by Wheels RV. Adventure is not far away, so don't wait. Get out to Wheels RV and start your journey at Arkansas's number 1 fifth-wheel dealer. That's all at Wheels RV right here in Northwest Arkansas, no matter the size of your family or even what your budget is. Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with their exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with the peace of mind that comes along with your new purchase at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Going to talk with Trey Biddy coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes, get his thoughts on what happened. Also, you've got the NIL law that we'll discuss and kind of concerning Matt and Imaliava. Tom Mars being involved in this is kind of interesting due to the fact that he defended Nico in Tennessee in kind of this in something completely separate. I guess it was last year. So there's so much to unpack. This is one of those mornings where I actually wish we were doing a 3-hour show. I'm usually good with 2 hours. I feel like 2 hours is great. It's not too long. It's not too short. I think 1 hour is too short. Sometimes 3 could be too long. But based on the stuff we have to talk about this morning, I actually wish we were doing 3 hours later.
Yeah, and kind of where do you begin? We were talking about that before the show. Is it baseball that people want to kind of heal the wound from the last 3 weekends, but particularly the one yesterday where you kind of let it get away from you again. I think a lot of people have a reaction as they're learning more in the discussions about the law that's going to exempt these NIL these players with their NIL and state income tax in Arkansas, and it kind of feels like it got slipped in the last minute. So I think there's a lot of different conversations this morning, Ty, going on at the water cooler.
Now, you said slipped in. Anytime there's news that gets put out Friday afternoon, or in some cases I've seen things tossed out Friday night, then that's always like, it's always fishy to me. It's always like with the intent was to, I don't know if bypass is the right word, try and get out of the news cycle where it would be consumed a lot more, talked about more. Now, it still is going to be across Sports Talk Radio here on ESPN Arkansas because I know everyone has their opinion about that. My initial thought on this was, it's like, you've got all these different thoughts from different people. And at least where I initially came from is like, well, if you have the option, legitimately, Tommy, do you want to pay taxes or do you want a really good football team? Like that, and that's not. There's other elements to this, but I'm just like thinking to myself, it's like, man, if I had the option to pay taxes or like a perennial 10-win football team. Like I didn't have to pay taxes at all for the rest of my life. For the next 50 years, Arkansas was going to be really, really good at football. That is a legitimate debate. I think I'd rather pay taxes, just to be perfectly blunt. I think I'd rather have a 9 or 10-win team than not have to pay taxes.
Death and taxes are a certainty.
Yeah,
and,
part of life.
Part of life, exactly. And I think the other basic tenet we all want to live by, even though we know it's not true, is that life's fair. We want to think that life is fair and we all have an equal footing. We know that's not right. We know that's not accurate. But it's a line of thinking we like to believe in, that at least we all start at the same starting line. And whoever gets to the finish line first is the winner. I think we have a hard time coping with, understanding, and trying to reconcile in our own mind how athletes by large part aren't even from Arkansas somehow get a leg up in the tax system in order to have a better football team. At the end of the day, it doesn't really make a huge difference in our state's budget. I just think it has a sense of unfairness that a lot of us are having a hard time dealing with.
Well, that's something I want to get into with Trey Biddy here, because he discussed that, some Madden stuff. I was recently watching a clip of Trey discuss a variety of different things on Hog Sports Live. So let's go and jump into it in our opening drive.
There's also the question of whether or not it's enforceable in court of law. There's other gray areas, I would think. But this is the world of college football that we're in. It's been great for the elite guys out there. There's some pushback that we're seeing now. But for college players on the whole, it's been a bad system. The guy that keeps his nose clean, that makes good grades, great locker room guy, ends up walking on senior day. That guy doesn't exist in college football because they're all being processed across the country right now. I'm not breaking any news that this whole thing is bad for college football.
This is the opening drive.
All right, Trey Brady with Hog Sports with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Trey, there's probably 10 topics that we can get into with this morning, but let's start the one that Tommy and I were just discussing.
Mm-hmm.
Your initial thoughts on this NIL bill, and I believe you might have to correct me on this, but I think this is the first SEC state to actually sign this into law, if I remember reading that correctly.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, depending on, I guess, how it all shakes out, I guess you could look at it as the state of Arkansas giving $1 million to the Razorbacks, basically an extra $1 million or so. What is it, like, 4% probably for $100,000 state of Arkansas tax. So, yeah, I mean, there's different ways. I'm sure. Yeah, I heard you guys opening up. My parents certainly never told me that life was fair. I think we all got that message when we were growing up. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a couple ways to look at it. Like if you're a big Razorback fan, maybe this is a way to get a slight edge, maybe an extra $1 million out of your NIL situation. If you're others, then you're frustrated with the way college athletics has gone over the years, and this is just another kind of kick.
So Trey, great to talk to you this morning. Let's, for the audience that maybe is just now catching up, had a busy weekend, just hearing Chuck and Bo talk about it and us get in on the. Let's give the thumbnail sketch of what's going on here, and because this came out late Friday. I think a lot of people maybe didn't catch up to this from the weekend and still trying to figure out what's going on. So let's get everybody kind of here on the same page with our discussion.
Yeah, and basically just no state income tax for NIL for Arkansas athletes. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, isn't it? Unless I'm missing something or misinterpreting. So basically, I guess revenue sharing is included in this, because technically that's kind of viewed as NIL, which the whole thing of NIL is wrong. Like, NIL is a soft drink company saying, I think this guy can move soda for us, not I think this guy can help us win football games. That's not what name, image, and likeness is supposed to be.
Pay for play, and that's what it's become.
It is pay for play, and for some reason we're calling it NIL, and the fact that we're doing it screws the whole system up. The fact that we're calling it that. So I assume rev share is a part of that, and that's $20.5 million. The revenue share budget, which when that comes into effect, which we're expecting it to, that is 22% of the average revenue of Power 5, Power 4 schools, which comes out to $20.5 million per school. Some schools won't have that amount of money to spend. Arkansas SEC schools will, and that's on top of the money that they can get from NIL. However, we're moving to a system that should have more oversight. So the days of someone getting an NIL deal for $2 million as a freshman quarterback to go somewhere and they end up making a couple of tweets about it, those days should be over. Now, somebody probably figure out some type of loophole or whatever, but those days should be over because anything over $600 is going to have to be approved through the clearinghouse, which has also hired a third party, Deloitte, an accounting firm, to help them with that. So you have to prove fair market value for any of these extra NIL deals beyond what you want to give a player from the revenue sharing side of things. So making a couple of tweets about, a law firm and getting $500,000 for it, that's not going to cut it. And from what I understand, like if you're caught, doing that, that money will be taken away from your revenue sharing budget. So hopefully, all this comes into effect and that's where we move, but athletes don't want to be employees and schools don't want athletes as employees. The only people that seem to want that is fans, who to me are forgotten in this whole thing, because I've always said, like, you have to take care of the players. Players should be paid. Okay, fine. Players should be paid. You got to take care of the coaches, staff, administration. You got to take care of the integrity of the sport. You got to take care of the fans. And the fans, to me, are the ones that are most frustrated. Like, you'd be hard pressed to find many people in Arkansas that think this is just great and they're enjoying it, or that their interest in recruiting hasn't dropped significantly. And throughout college football, guys, like we're getting rid of spring games now across the country. We're getting rid of spring games. I mean, those used to be kind of fun. Used to enjoy a spring game. Bowl games don't matter anymore. Loyalty doesn't matter. There are 54 players, 54 fresh faces on the roster this year. Like, what fan, you used to be able to maybe keep up with it if you were a diehard. Like, okay, there's this number of recruits coming in. We still got these guys back, Now you got to remember 54 new names on your football team.
And you never get to know them, really.
No, you really don't. And the access is more limited than it's ever been, too. I mean, like, we get great access in the spring. I'm thankful for that. But you look around college football, Arkansas is very rare in terms of allowing me to go watch 28 hours of practice this spring. Most schools around the country don't even do that. So the fans are important, obviously, and we're hurting that relationship, I think.
Trey Beatty with us, Hog Sports, here on our opening drive on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Trey, Arkansas really, I was curious to how many guys they would lose in the portal in the spring before it closed. And I know grad transfers have the exception of the rule that they can jump in and whatnot anytime. But really, you got, I guess, 6 guys now that you brought in, and your losses kind of seem minimal. I know Tyrell Reed entered recently, but just kind of your thoughts on this spring portal period for that Arkansas roster thus far.
I'm sorry, you cut out on me, Ty.
Oh, yeah, just the spring roster and just the portal period, and the losses seem kind of minimal for this football team heading into fall.
Yeah, not any big. I thought there would probably be a couple of different positions that maybe got hit harder than they did, but no, I don't. I wrote like 12 portal stories, and yeah, we didn't use anything close to that. It's kind of weird writing a story about somebody because you have to be prepared for when it happens. So it's kind of weird writing a portal story for a guy that's never enters the transfer portal. But we kind of got to stay on top of those things. But no, nothing too dramatic. There hasn't been anything official on Jordan Anthony, whether he'll stick with track, but I think he will. He ran a 9.98 100-meter dash, by the way, recently. But I think he will end up sticking just with track. I've got Arkansas at 84 scholarships after adding Andy Neal, the wide receiver. So, yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad as far as guys exiting.
One of the
aside from Matt Niamaliava, obviously grabbed a lot of headlines.
One of the guys you'd love to have back on this roster, but he's exhausted his eligibility, is Andrew Armstrong. It goes undrafted.
Yeah.
I think Tommy and I were surprised that Landon was drafted behind Isaac Tesla, but just your surprise level for seeing Andrew not get drafted this weekend.
Well, I was very surprised. First of all, Andrew Armstrong is a 6-year wide receiver. So those guys in the first place, aren't getting drafted, if at all. Like, you can look around the country, you're not going to see many guys that have been in college that long that are suddenly just going to shoot up draft boards. So that was one kind of indicator. But he ran well at the combine. He produced, good numbers at the combine overall. I would say, he interviewed well. He's a great kid. He shows a lot of dedication. He put up great numbers. So what is not to like about Andrew Armstrong that he goes undrafted? What is it? And then you have Isaac Tesla, who, checks a lot of those categories also. Great kid, great combine numbers, obviously. He put up one of the best combines of anybody at wide receiver in history. And I knew he would because I knew some of his summer testing numbers and stuff, but didn't have that same production, didn't start a lot of games. And he gets drafted higher than any other Razorback. That was really surprising. I thought that he might slip into the draft. I did not expect him to be the first Razorback off the board, nor did I expect Landon to drop into the third round, because he had a great combine also and was also very productive, multi-year starter, still had eligibility left in college. So, a little bit surprised on that, and only 2 Razorbacks drafted overall.
Trey, do you think this law that was slipped in, I'm going to call it slipped in at the last minute, and we learned of it on Friday, where players are not going to be taxed by the state of Arkansas on their NIL and revenue sharing money? Do you think that changes the sentiment of the fans towards players? Do you think the tide is going to start turning in how fans view players and the level of accountability, or at least that's the word a lot of fans like to use? Do you think the treatment of players will be different moving forward as a result of A, the money, and B, examples of things like the law that was passed on Friday, or we learned about on Friday?
Yeah. No, I think absolutely. I think it already has. I think, it just piles on. It changes the way I write about players. People used to ask me, on radio and such, if I thought somebody was going to transfer, and I would always be like, well, I don't want to, that's not a question I really want to answer. But now, I talk about players that, need to transfer or, aren't producing and probably should find another place, just because that is where we are now. And you have to talk about that kind of stuff if you're going to report on a team. And I absolutely feel like fans have gotten more harsh on players. And, maybe part of it's just, I could say, the rise of social media, but social media has been around a while. Some people used to say that, that's just fans on social media. Well, everybody is on social media. Who's not on social? Who doesn't have social media? So I think it's a representation of how people feel about these kids now. So it's one more step in how all this hasn't been great for college football, but players getting paid. I don't know that it's so much that it's just players getting paid. It's just the lack of accountability, like the lack of loyalty. Players, the perceived loyalty anyway. Players just leaving at the drop of a hat for a better deal, and that has changed the way fans will openly talk about players, whereas they used to be more guarded when they viewed them as kids and amateurs.
Trey, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff with us this morning, and we'll chat as we get closer to football season.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right, Trey Biddy, Hog Sports, always brings it each and every time he joins us, Tommy, here in our opening drive.
Yeah, brought to you by the Fence Man, bringing you the opening drive this morning. 782-3936 is the number. Call Sean and his team. They can be out to give you a quote. He told us Friday that they're already booked out like 6 weeks right now. But if you want the best, and you want the best value, the Fence Man has that for you. So we always call the Fence Man with anything we have regarding fencing gates, powered automatic gates, any of those things. You should too. 782-3936, free, no obligations quote. They'll be out to see you this week, and then they can get you installed sometime late spring, early summer. But listen, you want to deal with a company that's so good that there is a little bit of a waiting list, right? If you're talking with someone that can get on it next week, there's probably a reason why. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Colton is the equivalent, trying to get a meeting with Tommy about 6 weeks out.
About 7 or 8 weeks. If we're lucky.
Good analogy.
Okay.
Good analogy.
That's the best way to put it. All right, so is it time to panic with this baseball team?
Bandit.
Is it? They've lost 3 straight series for the first time since 2016. That year, they didn't make the NCAA tournament. I don't think in any way, shape, or form this team is in danger of missing postseason, but there are some issues that have to be resolved. We're going to hear from Dave Van Horn as we continue on your hog update coming up in just a bit, Tommy.
Hey, the tortilla chicken or tortilla chip breaded crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken coated in tortilla chip breading and paired with a unique dipping sauce. Find it at Taco Bell. Download the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell in the Apple app or Google Play Store.
We'll continue on this NIL law. I know there's some thoughts on that. There's a few other tidbits to this that we need to mention as well. Tom Mars being involved with this case with Madney Amaliava is interesting too to me. And again, we'll touch on some softball as they got a huge series win in College Station, Texas this weekend. It's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. What are your hot takes this morning? We're taking them for the next hour and 40.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a war, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Adventure doesn't wait.
Okay, I'll be here when you get back.
Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors.
All right, well, let me see if Joey's going to be available around 11:30. Let's go through and eat, put about lunch, and visit with him. Maybe that's time to start a visit.
See, explore, discover.
Let me see if he's
with
available.
Wheels RV.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available.
Do we
If
have
it
any
involves
trade left
fencing,
with
the
him
Fence
and
Man
the
does
cards
it. The
and
Fence
stuff, or is
Man.
it-
He ain't
I didn't
afraid
know
of no
what
work.
Jeff had, or-
479-782-3936.
Where you put
This is the Morning Rush.
Okay.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our
Original
latest
beats and
drop.
real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick. Just that classic rap.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial
baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Now she's lifted one deep to left off the top of the scoreboard, and she adds a couple more to it. 24th home run of the year for Bree Ellis, her second of the day. 7-2 Razorbacks.
Arkansas ends up winning 7-5 and 7-4 in games 1 and 2 this week in College Station. Lost the final game 2-0. Highest road series win in the history of the program. Colton put these notes in a rundown, Tommy. Arkansas is 18-2 in their last 20 SEC road series. 18-2, including this win this weekend for Courtney Deifel and company.
Well, and it's important to point out that A&M had taken over the top spot in the country from Oklahoma after beating them, so you didn't beat some slouch. Now, I think you caught them at a good time, coming off an emotional series win from what it sounds like, but Bree Ellis is one of the better players in the league. I was watching Rowdy Cap last night on the SEC Network, and they had plenty of great things to say about Bree. Particularly after the weekend Arkansas had in College Station.
Yeah. NFL draft this weekend. Landon Jackson and Isaac Tesla go third round. Isaac drafted at number 70 to the Detroit Lions. Landon gets drafted 72 to the Buffalo Bills. Here's the conversation, the interaction behind the scenes between Buffalo Bills GM Brandon Beane and Lando.
Landon, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, man?
You doing all right?
I'm good.
You excited? I love it, man.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Where are you at? You with your family?
Yeah, I'm back home.
Back home. And listen, we're excited about you. We're excited you're still here, and you're going to really help us out, man. Love how you play. Love your play style.
Hey, sir, I appreciate you. You're getting a f***ing dog.
I love it. I love that. That's awesome. Well, listen, got a few coaches, starting with Coach McDermott, wants to say hello to you, and then we're going to get you up here tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you in person, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Texarkana, Texas to Buffalo, New York. Tommy, quite a bit of change in terms of climate and lifestyle, but it was just cool. The Bills shared that moment. And Isaac's was really cool as he's going to his hometown team, but I was really happy for both those guys over the weekend.
So we have a teammate, Karen, who loves the Buffalo Bills, big Bills fan. She was telling me, Landon Jackson obviously taken by the Bills, but the Bills also drafted Tamarian Wilson from UCA and Jacob Baer from A-State. So they had three players from three different schools in their draft selections out of the state of Arkansas. That's unique. I didn't know that. She was sharing that with me this morning. So I'm going to write that down. That's pretty good.
Buffalo Bills, it's like the Eagles love Georgia kids. Well, apparently the Buffalo Bills love Arkansas connection. So cool tidbit there. Let's see. So you had 8 other guys sign with NFL teams, including Hudson Clark with the Raiders, Kiwi Rose, Jaquinta Jackson and Danico Slaughter with the Jags, Marquise Robinson-Cuddy with the Ravens, Tyrone Broden with the Seahawks, and there's one more that I think I missed.
Andrew Armstrong to the Fins, baby.
To the
Let's
Fins.
go.
Yeah, I know you're excited about that. That might be one of the best free agent signings in terms of just what they're getting of anyone else. But Tommy, yeah, like I know NFL execs and I know people have like different opinions. I don't know how he doesn't get drafted. Now it might be a better situation. He's going to a place that hopefully Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy and Andrew's able to not just make the team but actually contribute some way, some form. But I'm still amazed that he went undrafted this weekend. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and the overarching story was obviously Shadur Sanders, but there's other ones like this, that you don't understand either. But it's also a reflection kind of where we're at right now as a program, isn't it, Ty?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, only 2 players drafted. I will say they've had the 30-year run, which they were very high on, but to only have 2. I mean, I'm seeing these other SEC schools with double digits. Ohio State leads the way this year, and then there's Arkansas with 2. And I like it's just, I don't know if that's a criticism. I don't know if it's just reality, but as you said, it's where you are in the pecking order right now, not just the SEC, but of college football when it comes to getting players to that next step.
Yeah, and that's obviously something Arkansas is going to have to get reconciled and fixed because you can't compete in the SEC. And you can say what you want, but the draft's like an ultimate measuring stick, right? It's where you find out where you're really at as a program. So when you got 2 being drafted and everybody else has got 3 times, 4 times that amount, that tells you where you're at, and it's the pain point you've got. It's the root of your problem.
Yeah. Also, should be Eric Gregory signed with the Bengals. That was the other one that I failed to mention. All right, that is your Hog Update here on this Hot Take Monday. Hog Update, always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Speaking of hogs, Tommy, what's kind of funny, I'm walking out of X&A after getting my bags from the carousel, and who passed me on his way on a flight? That would be Coach Bobby Petrino, who looked like he was intense wherever he's going. I have no idea his destination, but I just thought that was funny walking out of X&A yesterday, seeing Coach Petrino that I'm guessing he was sporting an Arkansas gear, so I'm guessing he was on a recruiting visit of some sort.
So he was outbound and you were inbound, huh?
Yes, yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, I'm surprised you didn't stop and ask.
No,
could have broke a story.
I don't think he was in the mood to talk to anyone.
I'll talk to you, man.
Or
hey, This weekend, starting Thursday, actually, hopefully weather holds up. Texas coming to town. Going to be a hard ticket for this weekend with the Horns in town. Go to SeatGeek.com, the official resale marketplace of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Find tickets there for that and softball and anything else at SeatGeek.com.
All right, when we return, we got our Morning Rush Daily question. What are your thoughts? You can jump in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. We continue on next.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
So late last week, we all learned as Arkansans at the state legislature had passed a law allowing athletes with NIL and revenue-sharing money to be exempt from state income taxes on those funds. Here's the Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by CartPath Social. Does it excite you? Thinking, hey, this is going to help our program go to the next level, attract more athletes, because, Ty, it's really one of a kind right now till other states catch up. I don't think anyone else that's formally put this into play. Or does it anger you? As a taxpayer, I pay my state income tax, 4-something percent. Does it anger you and feel unfair? How do you feel about it this morning? You can call or text us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Love to hear from you, but I think there's probably not much middle ground on this. So how do you feel? Excited? It's going to help Sam Pittman get the athletes he needs, or a little bit angry because it doesn't feel equitable with the rest of us?
Robert's on the line. He wants to answer this question. Robert, go ahead, man. You're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, guys. It is part of the question, but my thing is, as we've talked about, with the players making that money, how does the fan react to that now? Those guys are not just players. They are, but they're not just players getting a scholarship. They're making CEO money. And if you're a skilled player and you're not living up to that, you should get ridiculed. It's just like the NFL. Them NFL people, I'm not big in the NFL, but people that are, they get crazy about it. So it's like, you're going to get $1.2 million. I expect you to get me more than 5 games. Just like you guys have always talked about return on investment. 5 games, that ain't a return. I'm not saying national championship, but 8 or 9, is that out of question? And no, they should pay taxes because everybody else does. What are they? Better pay it on their $1.2 million. See what y'all think about it.
Robert, appreciate it. I jokingly asked earlier, and maybe that it is a hot take on Hot Take Monday. I would rather have a good football team than not pay taxes. Now, I don't know if this is ultimately going to get you where you want to be in life, but in terms of like the question you're asking, I'm going to be in the minority on this, and that's fine. If this helps the football team win, then I'm okay with it. If it doesn't, if there's no effect, then I think there's going to be a lot of uproar about this. And based on just the last 48 hours or so that I've seen reaction from Arkansas fans, it has been. I think one of the other things about this is, Tommy, as I understand it, the payments are confidential. Mm-hmm. And when we actually, it was pretty widespread, we found out that Madden was making $500,000, fans went nuts. You kind of thought that guys were making good chunks of monies, and I don't know what certain starters are making on this football team or anywhere else, but when they see a backup that's supposedly making that, and then he jumps ship, And that's when you saw the pushback on this. But I'll go back to what I said initially. If it helps the team win, I'd rather have a good football team than not have to pay taxes. As dumb as that is.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think as I sniff around this a little bit more and ask and talk with people, I think what we're going to find out is I think the school's been supporting a lot of those taxes to this point. It gets the school off an expense line that will help them. So it'd be nice if if everyone's employer would just pick up their state income tax in addition to all the others. Question is, how does this affect, and is the school involved in supplementing FICA, which they're not employees, so it's 1099. So I guess that's not true. But any of the other taxes that would come along, you got self-employment tax. So these athletes, I'm just thinking through it in kind of a situation where if you or I get a 1099. We got to pay quarterlies if it's above a certain point to get ahead on tax deposits. You got to pay not only your half of Social Security, but you got to match that like a self-employed individual. So while the 4% doesn't set well with a lot of people, that's not where their tax problem begins and ends. And I think to a degree, it's helping. Maybe the athletic department get off an expense that they've been on.
I knew we'd get some fun texts on this. When you asked the question. Gavin in Fayetteville texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I would rather them abolish Razorback football than pay taxes. That's his thoughts, so complete opposite of me. Let's see. This is from Ryan in Prairie Grove this morning. Ty, I love you, son, but that football team doesn't affect my life that much, buddy. He's been waiting on your opinion on this, so why don't you go ahead and take a stand, if you will. Where are you as mad as you were last week on the Madden stuff? Like, where's the temperature with you on this?
It's not fair and equitable. In the end, what Trey said, it's going to be about $1 million of tax revenue the state won't receive. And you do the numbers. Figure up 4% and whatever it is. That's the state income tax percentage on 20 some odd million. That's about what it's going to cost the state. In the grand scheme of things, $1 million to the state of Arkansas, whose budget, is, billions, doesn't, I think $4 billion. It's a gnat on an elephant's behind. It's about perception. It's about the optics of it. I'm okay with this to a degree. I just think it was kind of the attempt was, let's sweep it under the rug. Let's news dump this on a Friday, and hopefully nobody's talking about it on Monday.
The outcry won't be as significant.
Right. And it feels like they tried to slip this one by us. There was not a lot of discussion. I follow, for our industry, to some degree, the legislative action and how it affects us. This was not something that was being talked about, was not on a lot of radars, didn't feel like there was a lot of committee hearings. This just kind of got moved through because I think the state legislature knows what the constituents would think on this one.
This is an interesting take from Danny in Texarkana this morning. Whether they pay taxes, state taxes or not, it doesn't affect what I bring home. So I don't understand if it doesn't affect your income. Why does anyone care if they do or not?
Because I'm paying my taxes. I think a lot of people feel this way. I'm paying my taxes. Why shouldn't they pay theirs?
For the work, this is from Stanley in Springfield this morning, where Arkansas will be playing baseball tomorrow night, trying to get that revenge against Missouri State. For the working class, being most of us, initially it hits you negatively. However, paying attention would be at a 10 if the basketball team became a bottom feeder of this league due to not being competitive in compensation with the other schools, that the states are going to do the same thing. No one tunes in to watch me work, so I get it. That's Stanley in Rogersville, Missouri this morning. His thoughts on this thing. Let's see. We got another caller. Let's go to Casey in Greenwood. He's got a thought on this question this morning. Casey, welcome into the program.
Hey, thanks, Ty. Yeah, the NIL deal, first off, keeping things confidential is just going to make this even more slimy, in my opinion. Second off, so if we're talking about $1 million worth of free spending that was going to be taxed by the state previous, now it's $1 million that is, I guess previous, that money was going to have an impact on the entire state. So now if we have $1 million of free spending that was taxable income, that's only going to benefit Fayetteville and Northwest Arkansas.
Well,
in theory.
In theory, yes, but I would assume this law is also going to apply to athletes at other institutions around the state. So, but the scale, your point's accurate. The scale is not going to be the same as what it is in Fayetteville. Jonesboro is not going to feel the impact. Little Rock won't feel the same impact. You're right, but it's not a law, as I understand it, exclusive to those in Fayetteville.
Sure, but those individual communities, whereas that money would have been dispersed statewide, will now only have the impact for Jonesboro, Conway, Fayetteville, those individual communities. It's just a thought.
Casey, appreciate the call. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open on this and any other hot take you have on this Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV at 877-377-6963. That is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Great place for indoor golf in Arkansas. You play at one over 1,000 courses at Cart Pass Social. They've got different leagues that have been ongoing. They had their first ever Masters Invitational. If you want to have a corporate event, a birthday party, Tommy's favorite, a gender reveal, you can do it all at Cart Pass Social. CartPassSocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622. Give us a call or book online to schedule a reservation today at Cart. And it's BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Hey, good news for you. I don't have another wedding until October. And I've only got four.
Right in the middle of football season. We're not doing anything.
It's the bye. No, it actually, hey, hold up. It's the bye weekend. So it actually worked out. It worked out this year. So it has actually been cut of special events. It's been cut down. I've averaged 80 a year, and now I only have 4 this season. So I know you're happy about that. You get to talk with me more.
No one else was wanting to do anything and get out of town on the bye weekend. Appreciate you taking that up for us.
You're welcome. I'm just happy to do that.
I've only done that the last 5 years in a row, but thank you. We'll all stay here and work and mind the store. Keep the lights on, as you like to say.
Doing our best. All right, well, Florida takes it this weekend. Arkansas has lost 3 straight SEC series for the first time since 2016.
Pitch. One hop at second. No, it's caught. Game's over, and Florida wins the series. Hogs leave them loaded in the 9th inning. Florida wins 9-5.
I think it's worrisome when you lose game 1 because Zach Root has been your dude this season. I know that, again, 3 straight SEC series losses. You're trying to get back on track. You got a little better outing from Gage Wood. I know Landon Beidelshees didn't have his best stuff on Sunday. Like what you saw from Gabe Gackle again this weekend out of the pen. There are some issues, and Dave talked about just a few things they got to get better at.
Number one, we got to have a little better clutch hitting. Left too many runners out there, and kind of the same thing happened on Friday. And Friday we struck out too many times. Kind of corrected that the last couple of days, but couldn't really get the big hit.
I mean, Tommy, you got it's 9-5 in the 9th, and I think it was 1 out when the bases were juiced and loaded, but you end up. Again, I think it was 2 straight outs, and Arkansas falls in that series. So it's not like they're just not hitting, right? But there's sequences where they've got guys on base and they're leaving them on, and it's costing them in games like it did this weekend.
Well, and what was it yesterday? Was it 2 hard hit balls that were caught at the wall?
Yeah, and one was a great play by that Florida outfielder because that should have been gone.
So I mean, when things of that nature happen, I mean, sometimes it's not your day, but it hadn't been their day for a while, and I think that's the concern of many right now. I think the health of the pitching staff's the one thing that I'm most concerned about at this point. Hey, Adventure doesn't have to wait. Neither should you. Stop in to see our friends at Wheels RV. It's a Hot Take Monday. They're Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer. Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas has a perfect RV and travel trailer for you and fifth wheel for your family or your budget. And they all come with a lifetime warranty. They're exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV. So hit the open road with peace of mind from Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Well, I tried to ask Bobby Petrino a question when I saw him at the airport.
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
No, it didn't go well. Hour 2 coming up next.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest
Hey,
on
that
Saturday,
ad should be
April
dead. That event was
26th.
Friday.
Heart to Heart Pregnancy
Or
and Family
Saturday,
Care
rather.
Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please text H2H Mystery to 44834 or call us at 479-452-2260. Heart to Heart's Mystery at the Forest, April 26th.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
April showers bring May flowers, which brings, June heat. Remember the June heat with the air you can wear? Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning. We offer the highest efficiency home comfort system on the market today with the York Affinity Series. So for all your high efficiency heating and cooling needs, plumbing and drain cleaning, get a red truck rolling your way today. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning in York. Give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Taco Bell's all white meat crispy chicken nuggets are back, but that doesn't make us a chicken place. I mean, yes, everyone loved them, like a lot. That's why we brought them back, along with our signature dipping sauces. But the crispy golden breading is actually tortilla chips, which is very taco place. So we're still a taco place. You think of us as a taco place, right? Who are we? No, I mean, we're good. It's just nuggets. Just crispy chicken nuggets, only at Taco Bell, your taco place. It's also a chicken place. It's also a taco place. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was photos at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a high today in the low to mid 80s. We could see a few showers of storms across the north tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid 60s. And then a few scattered showers with thunderstorms across the north on Tuesday, a high upper 70s north, mid 80s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Your home for Razorback baseball all season long right here. ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3.
With the 70th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Isaac Slaughter, wide receiver, Arkansas. One prize.
And remember, he started his career in Michigan.
So, of course, Motor City just added a Tesla. This kid is really good from Arkansas.
Green, though, is going to throw on first down. Corner route. Tesla caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. Perfect.
With the 72nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Landon Jackson, defensive end, Arkansas.
Someone who just elevated through the entire process. I thought he was a top 50 player in this class.
Reed in trouble. There's Landon Jackson, his first sack of the year. First team All-SEC pass rusher last year.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So, Tommy, I guess Landon can eat some buffalo wings and Isaac can eat some Detroit-style pizza. You got several. I mean, think about the Razorbacks now up in Detroit with Frank and Skipper and Bates, and hopefully Tesla makes the team and gets added to that list. Jaguars selected 4 Arkansas Razorbacks to signed them free agent guys, Kiwi Rose, Jaquindon Jackson, Dominique Slaughter, and Andrew Armstrong, all signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, hopefully to be teamed up with Monteric Brown later on this season. So a lot of things happening for some Razorbacks. I guess 10 total between the 2 guys drafted and the 8 other guys that signed free agent deals this weekend.
Yep. So certainly exciting for their families. I always think the best part of the draft is watching the reaction of the families. I love it when they do it in their homes and not sitting in the green room. There's a benefit to both, but I think it's awfully special when all the family is around them to see it. That's a hot take here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices and always a lifetime warranty to help you get out and explore all the adventures in our state. No matter the size of your family or budget, there's the perfect RV waiting on you at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You mentioned the home. We played the clip from Landon Jackson with Buffalo in the conversation he had with Brandon Bean earlier. Brad Holmes, who is the general manager for the Detroit Lions, regarded as one of the best right now with what he's been able to do with Detroit lately. Here's what he had to say about Isaac Tesla.
When he came on his top 30 of his, he had on a Lions jersey. And I thought he just did like a cheesy move just to some fanboy stuff. And I'm just like, oh, come on, you didn't put a Lions jersey on. But he said, no, I've had it since the 8th grade. And he's like, no, what better time to wear it than now? And so I really respected that. But no, he grew up as a Lions fan through and through. But obviously that is not why we were excited to go up there and pick him. We were excited to go up there and pick him because he's big, he can run, he's tough, he's smart, he's a hands catcher, and he blocks, and he plays special teams. And that's why we're excited to go get him.
Had himself a great combine, and now I'm getting to go to his childhood team, which was pretty cool. Got a text in here from Gavin in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying Landon's call with the Buffalo Bills made him tear up. he's so happy for that guy. Those interactions like you talk about, Tommy, with family members and being at home. And I know the draft room is where high-profile guys want to be. Like draft day, you want to be high-fiving Roger Goodell. You want to wear the suit and everything else. But then you think about the iconic pictures like Brett Favre and seeing Arkansas Razorbacks that have been in those situations. It is something that they will remember the rest of their lives. That night they were drafted by their favorite or their current NFL team.
100%. Hey, although we're talking about football season and it's over, the action has not stopped with the Oaklawn Sports app. Download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to get in on the action. I know a lot of you are right now probably had some sharp reactions to the end of a couple of NBA games over the weekend. Their playoffs are underway, whether it's futures for college football, outright winners for the NBA playoffs, spreads, totals, player props. It is all there right now. Even the hockey playoffs are underway, and you can find those at the Oaklawn Sports app. Plus, check out the 10% profit boost, the new customer $1,000 bonus. It's all with Oaklawn Sports, the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
So speaking of calls, Shadur Sanders got a call this weekend that ended up being a prank call. I'm going to play the clip, and I'll give you the context of the situation.
Hey, is this Shadur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you with our next pick right here, man.
It's ain't be nothing to.
Hey, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
All right, so a couple things. Dude's wearing an Ole Miss shirt. It just screams DB, and like that happens. The backstory on this, Tommy, Falcon, that is the son of the Falcons defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, and he apparently, like through an iPad connection or something, was fiddling around and found that number because like that is only a number that NFL executives and coaches and people with ties have. Like sure, and every other players will buy these phones specifically with the sole purpose of being able to communicate with people involved in the NFL, and that ends up happening. He drops all the way to the 5th round and gets drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Which, Colton, give us the Cleveland Browns quarterback room currently.
Man, it's a dandy. So you've got the old seasoned veteran. They brought in Joe Flacco to help kind of bolster things, give them everything. They also traded and got Kenny Pickett this year as well. But then on top of that, you also have one of the most polarizing figures in all of sports in Deshaun Watson, and then you go and draft Dylan Gabriel, and then another guy, Shadur Sanders. What an interesting quarterback room.
So what did you make of him falling to the 5th round this weekend? I know there's a lot of opinions, a lot of hot takes here on Hot Take Monday. What is yours, Tommy? And then I'll give you mine.
I think the NFL draft continues to be truth serum. I think the drama. I think when you listen to the way some were talking about how he showed up almost arrogant and unprepared for the team meetings, it shouldn't surprise many. I think the easy answer for a lot of people is, well, he thought because he's Deion's son is going to go. Even listening to Deion, well, there's certain teams he isn't going to play for. Listen, it's a privilege to be drafted by any of these guys. The fact that his number was retired at Colorado, I think there's just a lot about this whole deal that I think rubs people the wrong way. And I think in the end, my number one take was Travis Hunter made him look a lot better than he actually was. And so that's my real take.
There was my takeaway, because if this was a situation where both of these guys dropped and significantly way, because you listen to people. Travis was obviously a high pick, which he ended up being that, going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully he'll have some Razorback teammates, including Monteric Brown. But the interesting part of all this is, like, it was Shadur dropping. It's the difference of these two. If Hunter's not that, if you don't think he's that good, the truth serum's there, then he's dropping. But he is. Like, that kid, there's a reason that kid won the Heisman Trophy. Deion Sanders obviously was a part of that. But I think a lot of NFL people saw, and I'm not going to discount some of the things that Shadur Sanders was able to do at the collegiate level. But the National Football League is a different game. And I love, like, the interactions, like him and Cam Ward were working out together. The back and forth between those two is kind of interesting to me. Obviously, the Titans feel strong enough about Cam Ward to pass up on draft picks from the New York Giants and take him number 1 overall. They felt that strongly about him. 32 NFL teams felt that strongly that Shedeur Sanders was not a top four round draft pick.
Yeah.
And it's like
some of those teams had more than one pick in some of the second, third, and fourth rounds. So everybody passed over him at least 3 or maybe 4 times, I read.
If I had to guess, Deion Sanders is still going to be heavily involved with Travis Hunter. And yet the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's going to be a good or bad thing. I don't want to act like it's all a con, but the Jacksonville Jaguars felt is strong enough about his potential and his abilities that he displayed in college that they're willing to take him. And they didn't feel that way about Shedeur Sanders. So just thought it was interesting. Like I know Mel Kiper went on this huge rant.
Boomer Esiason was not happy when he was a second-round pick. Tom Brady was not happy. They dropped. How'd they turn out?
And you know what?
Nobody's arguing that. My point is this, Reese, the NFL has been clueless for 50 years when it comes to evaluating quarterback.
Now, I will say this. You want to motivate a young man? Take him where you did.
Yeah.
I mean, all eyes are going to be on him. If you want a motivation standpoint where you thought you were going to be a first, maybe a second-round draft pick, and you drop all the way to the 5th round, man, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I'm as fired up as I've ever been in my entire life to prove people wrong. There's always going to be naysayers out there. That's just part of it. He's a polarizing kid, and he can play. But I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it worked out for the best because I don't know what's gonna happen for his. But there's definitely some motivation that he didn't have previously heading into this weekend, and we'll see if he makes the most of it. I'm excited to see how this thing plays out because I hope for him that he has success, but I don't know what's going to happen in his future.
Yeah. If you're looking to spruce up your home or maybe build a brand new one, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help you choose the right financing option that's best for you, best for your family. Go to myaglender.com or drop by any of Farm Credit's 25 locations today. Get started on building more family memories. What you say is exactly right. Nothing could be more motivating. We saw. Now, I'm not suggesting this guy's going to be Tom Brady, but we know how Tom Brady was motivated throughout his career by where he went at the very tail end of the draft. If you don't draw motivation from that when you thought you were going to be one of the top overall picks, then you probably don't belong in the NFL. That's all I can say.
No, we'll come back to some more of this later on. If you've got some thoughts on this, Lewis Automotive Group hotline open, 877-377-6963. We closed the last hour talking a little baseball. Arkansas falls this weekend in Gainesville, Florida, the Gators. One of the texts that we received was from JT in Hot Springs, talking about that we gave 6 runs up on Friday, 9 on Sunday. Dave wants to say more than just get more clutch hits, but he thinks pitch better and shut down the other team's batters. Well, Dave did mention that.
Starting pitching got to get better, got to show us a little more.
He did say that after Sunday's loss. Pitching has been an issue lately for this baseball team, unfortunately. You mentioned the health of the pitching staff. Still waiting on to get Coyle back. I know people are wondering, hey, what about Carson Wiggins? Here's what Dave Van Horn had to say about his health status.
Well, he felt it when he picked it first. Who knows when it happened? I mean, he threw the ball. I think the couple pitches he threw were 99, 100 miles an hour, and then it just didn't feel right when he picked. So he's smart enough to say something and get out of there. We'll get it looked at tomorrow.
You've got a midweek game tomorrow, the final one of the season against the team you lost to earlier this year where you had a lead and you let it slip. And then the number one team's coming into town, the Texas Longhorns, your arch rival. Then you go to Baton Rouge next week and Alex Box. Then you get Tennessee and Tony Vitello.
You're hot second in the league right now.
And that's
but how can you hang on to it?
And that's where that needs to be pointed out. It's not like you've dropped to 5th or 6th, but that national seed's in jeopardy now.
You're tied for second right now in the SEC at 14-7.
So you're
5. You could sweep the Longhorns this weekend and still be in second place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're 5 full games back in the conference standings. Now, here's the good news, and I know the curse was broken. Texas is going to be the number 1 overall seed, barring any kind of major disaster down the stretch, including a sweep by the Razorbacks this weekend. But how do you've got to take care of business against LSU and Tennessee. You can't get swept by anybody. I still am confident feeling that, hey, you're in the top 4, maybe even the top 5 of this league. You're a top 8 national seed. You'll host in the playoffs, and that's the position I think you really want to be in.
I believe this morning on D1 Baseball, you check in at number is 11.
11. That's what I see here.
You're
yeah.
number 11 on that, so that's something to just keep an eye on. I know the back and forth of the where you are in the conference pecking order versus where you are I know there's several baseball polls, but that's the one the NCAA uses. So I'm going to say that's probably going to be the case. Just keep an eye on that here in the coming weeks. And we've said it, like getting to this point, you didn't want to have 3 straight losses. Not to say that they can't beat the Longhorns this weekend, but just a tough situation, tough slate ahead for this baseball team moving forward.
Yeah, and but we've seen, I was in some text groups I was in. Was Ole Miss playing great baseball a few years ago when they went on to win a national title? Was Mississippi State, and listen, you'd rather play good baseball and play better baseball, but right now I think we also don't fully value the quality of this league, and now that you've gotten into the meat of the schedule, I think the record and where you were at, it's a little bit of a mirage because you had some teams early that weren't playing well. Missouri is now 0-21 in this league. Those 3 wins don't hold a lot of water, but they count for 3. So I think it's starting to level out as far as you've played enough teams now that you're really figuring out you're not the best in this league. Texas is. Question is, are you 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality of where you're at.
Well, the women's softball team had themselves quite a week, and we'll jump into that in your SEC update, give you some other thoughts on what's going on here on a Hot Take Monday.
Hey, we're brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They've opened a second location in Salisaw, right across from the courthouse to better serve Sequoia and LaFleur counties. And they not only handle family law, divorce and custody and those types of issues, but they also have 13 years of experience in car wrecks and slip and falls and dog bite cases, injury cases, that if you're dealing with an insurance company, let a pro like Jackie handle that for you. They also understand that times are hard, and most of us are working class folks, and we can't afford to pony up a $5,000 retainer and then get asked for more money down the road, and that's why they offer flat fees. They understand that. They also understand that low down payments and payment plans are something that make this accessible for you as well. And the laws have changed, and yes, joint custody is now the default. So don't be afraid to go to trial. They're successful when they do. That's mocklegalsolutions.com or 479-769-1505 for Jackie and the team at Mock Legal Solutions.
All right, we continue on the Morning Rush next.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday, presented by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Taco Bell's all white meat crispy chicken nuggets are back, but that doesn't make us a chicken place. I mean, yes, everyone loved them, like a lot. That's why we brought them back, along with our signature dipping sauces. But the crispy golden breading is actually tortilla chips, which is very taco place. So we're still a taco place. You think of us as a taco place, right? Who are we? No, I mean, we're good. It's just nuggets. Just crispy chicken nuggets, only at Taco Bell, your taco place. It's also a chicken place. It's also a taco place. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. we dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
It's Todd Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I want to update you what's going on with Jammart, and there are 5 locations in Arkansas. The Greenwood location has just implemented state-of-the-art gas dispensers. Come by and see them in Bulldog Country, next to Jules Bakery. You know I love the full-service deli in Jammart number 10. I'm excited to announce that the Phoenix location is getting one too. If you haven't already, make sure to download the Jammart Rewards app. Become a member and start saving today. Jammart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion. You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally it's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Center field. Catch by Reagan Johnson and robs Kennedy Powell and keeps a run off the board.
Arkansas softball gets a series win against the Texas A&M Aggies this weekend. Highest series win in the history of the program. A&M was ranked 1/2, depending on what poll you fall. 18-2.
They weren't half. They weren't ranked half.
Yeah, whatever you put them at. 18-2, the mark of Arkansas in their last 20 SEC road series. They have been awesome. They got that win over Florida earlier on this season, and then they get it done against the Texas A&M Aggies. So Cordy Deifel and company having themselves quite a run here recently on the road. Maybe they just need to play road games, Tommy, leading up to Oklahoma City rather than playing in Bogle Park. I say that tongue-in-cheek, of course, but
they may have had a case of the Reds this weekend. They may have had, Oklahoma may have been a little bit chapped after what happened against A&M the week before. So Oklahoma's still the best baseball brand, best baseball team, or softball, I should say, softball team in the country. So
And Arkansas saw it firsthand when Oklahoma came into Bogle Park earlier on this season. SEC other news: 79 players drafted from SEC rosters. Of course, the NFL draft with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma, that number is just going to skyrocket. You think about just the players over and over that you recognize from different teams that Arkansas played this season. Arkansas had 2 guys drafted: Landon Jackson, 72nd to the Bills, and then Isaac TeSlaa, 70th to the Detroit Lions, and the 8 other players end up signing rosters as well. Andrew Armstrong with the Dolphins, Broden signs with the Seahawks, Jaquinton Jackson, Kiwi Rose, and Danico Slaughter with the Jags, Gregory with the Bengals, Cuddy with the Ravens, and then Hudson Clark with the Las Vegas Raiders. Some of the guys from this weekend that we're taking on. Tommy, I think the easy answer is Andrew Armstrong of the free agent deals. Who's like the second guy in that list that he has a chance to actually be a staying power in the NFL? Maybe Jaquinton if he can stay healthy.
I'd say Jaquinton Jackson, but I don't know. Is there one on that list that jumps out above the rest of them?
I would say Jaquinton, just because like when he's healthy, he's really good. I know he has the fumble issues that he's got to work on, especially at the next level. But I mean, when he's healthy, he's an SEC caliber back. When he's not, it's just a bummer that he's not on the football field.
Yeah, and hopefully these guys stick and at least make some practice squads. But these. It's your chance to live out the dream. There's some decent money, not great, but you can build up a little nest egg beyond your NIL money that hopefully you've saved some of and have a head start on life, even if it doesn't work out. So just going through a year or so of this process, tasting it, you can say what 99.9% of people can't say, and that's they played for an NFL team. Yep. So just to get to this point's worth something.
All right, that is your SEC update this morning.
And it is brought to you by our friends at Oakland Sports. Listen, if you haven't downloaded the Oakland app, be sure and do that soon. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion, and you get a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days for up to $100. Download the Oakland Sports app to check out all the details, including their 10% profit boost on parlays that are at least 3 legs with odds of at least plus 1,000. Find it all in the Apple app or Google Play Store. It's the Oakland Sports app.
Brett Good spent a lot of time with the Green Bay Packers. He's going to join us coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes to talk about the draft this week and some Razorbacks and whatnot. You referenced the NIL. I want to come back to this story. One of the things we haven't done just yet is the mention that Tom Mars is going to be involved with Arkansas and trying to get the money back from Matt and Iamaliava. Tommy, it's the $200,000 payout. Trying to get this back. I think it's interesting because he was a part of like Tennessee and their collective, and Nico. There was some investigation on that, and he was on the EML, I guess, Tennessee and that side. So this is just very intriguing to me. But some of you know who Tom Mars is. Some of you don't. He's a graduate of the I don't know, what do you call it, the University of Arkansas Law, whatever it is. But this is I just think this is
law school.
Yeah, law school. This is an intrigue. My buddies have been. I obviously haven't, but this is just an intriguing story for me for a variety of reasons. When I saw that he was going to be a part of this, I was like, okay, so they mean business. It sounds like when it comes to this situation.
Yeah, and I don't know where the conflicts begin and end on that.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering too.
I don't know how you would be conflicted out, but in the end, Arkansas has to publicly do this. And listen, university knew this state law deal was coming. They know what the optics are. I haven't talked to one person yet that's excited about it, other than you. That the state income tax is being essentially waived for these guys. So they've got some optical issues with the general fan right now. But the general fan's not the one that's generally given the big bucks for the NIL. And then they got the rev share, which is not coming out of taxpayer dollars, we should point out. But we're all paying it indirectly, because I pay my YouTube TV bill or your satellite bill or all the things that fund that $20-some-odd million that goes into that. We all pay our part a little bit each month in television access fees, your subscriptions. So believe you me that you're a part of this, whether they tell you you are or you aren't.
And I think when it comes to the NIL situation here in Arkansas with the tax exempt on the income taxes. What I've stated is like, if it helps this team win, then I'm for it. If it doesn't, then I'm just kind of like, well, I don't really like it then. But I jokingly say, and I say jokingly, I'm serious about this. This is my hot take. I would rather have a good football team than not have to pay taxes. Dead serious about that.
Well, I mean, but you're not getting exempt from taxes. They are.
I know that's what
you're going to pay taxes.
But that's what I'm joking. Like in about. It's like, if this helps this team win, yes, you're probably not a fan of it, but I get that fandom wise, some don't reach it. Like Gavin Fayetteville was joking with this earlier. It's like, I'd abolish Arkansas football if it meant I had to have to pay taxes, which I get that. But if this is one of the things that helps you get better players and helps Sam Pittman and gets a win, then I'm okay with it. And I'm in some cases, I guess I'm for it. But if it doesn't do anything, then it's just kind of like, well, they tried it, didn't work, and now people are just going to blast them for it.
Well, I think there's going to be. I think the fact that they did it at the end of the legislative session is telling.
Oh yeah.
There are term limits in this state on state office, but there's going to be some. They're hoping people will forget, and that this team wins some games by the time the next election cycle rolls around. I think that's probably the hope of a lot of those in Little Rock. I get it from both sides, but I don't think just listening to people I've heard have a reaction to this, and I think a lot of people are hearing about it for the first time today even, because it didn't happen till late Friday, and if you're not paying attention to the news cycle, and I didn't watch a lot of local news, but I did watch the news Saturday morning. I didn't see a ton of reaction or reporting on it. I don't think a lot of us probably sit around and watch the news the way we did. Was on social media, but I'm telling you, I think we're just seeing the beginning of people forming their opinion on this story.
And I think when it comes to what you just discussed, I mean, it's overwhelmingly negative. It's not. I haven't seen. I think I'm legitimately the only person that said anything positive about it.
95.5,
and it's if that. It's probably 99.1. And so again, if it works, I think you maybe see it change, but there's no guarantee of that happening.
Listen, even if they won 10 games in the next, not this season, but next season they win 10 games, let's just say. Can you point to this as the reason why?
They'll push for it to say that's the reason why.
How can this attract players? Because you're going to be making more money. So then in that case, you're attracting the wrong type of player anyway. And that's just my opinion on this. I could care less, bills and laws, income tax, or what. That's whatever. But how is this attracting more better players? How is this going to help you win football games? All it does is help you you can tell these guys, hey, you're making more money here. That's the wrong thing to be focused on. Helping kids make more money doesn't help them win football games.
Tennessee and Florida already state income tax exempt anyway, Tommy? So from that
standpoint, Texas, Florida, and Tennessee in our footprint don't have state income tax.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they make up for it other ways. You're paying one way or the other.
Yeah.
But we have 4% income tax and we have a 6.5% sales tax. That's state. So, I mean, by the time you add local and county, in most places it's 9 to 10% between city, state, and county taxes, and then you add 4% to that. That means by the time you're all said and done, by the time you spend $1, 13% of it or so listen, they're going to get you one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Fees, taxes, whatever you want to call it, they're going to get you one way or the other. So, hey, we're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Their 47th anniversary sale starting to wind down, but you got a few more days through the end of April to save up to $1,250 off on above-ground pools and up to $2,350 off on semi-in-ground pools. Doughboys are the most durable, and they have the best warranty, and they're made in America. So you want to get a Doughboy when it comes to that. Hot Springs is the #1 selling hot tub, and they start at just $134 a month, and you'll find those at Burton Pools and Spas as well. It's the 47th anniversary sale going on now through the end of April, so a couple of more days. Ask their sales team about the Aruba fiberglass pools or the Corinthian as well. So hurry in for exclusive anniversary sale deals at Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale. Water for a better life. Go to burtonpools.com.
All right, Brett Good. Coming up when we return here on the Morning Rush Hot Take Monday. Get yours in next.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us at 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Razorback! It's time for the Wrath Rod Replacement Sale at Wrath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, back here on the Morning Rush. NFL Draft took place this weekend in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A guy that knows the area very well, played for the organization for a number of years. Brett Good set to join us momentarily here on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. We'll get his thoughts on just this weekend, some hogs, and some other things that happened coming up in just a bit.
Hey, we're brought to you by WT Equipment. They're in Northwest Arkansas and got locations all around the state, even in to northern Missouri, or Louisiana rather, as well. Spring in right now. It's time to upgrade your equipment. Whether you need a powerful zero-turn mower or a hard-working utility tractor, WT Equipment has the deals to get you rolling. Right now, the Hustler sales event's underway. $1,700 off MSRP on select Hustler zero turns like the Raptor X. Plus, they have qualified buyers receiving 0% financing for 42 months. Don't wait. These deals end at the end of June. So visit WT Equipment today. Give them a call at 479-442-8284 or go to WTEquip.com.
All right, Brett. What was the biggest takeaway from this weekend? You include hogs, non-hogs. Like what stood out to you from the festivities up there in Wisco this weekend?
I thought it was just a great environment. First and foremost, for the city of Wisconsin, the city of Green Bay in Wisconsin to have that. It's the largest crowd they've ever had in the city at one time, and we're talking about a city with 107,000 people, and to have over 200,000 people on an event, it was magical for a lot of reasons, for a lot of businesses and the people that, and I really like how they're moving the draft around, and they're creating different environments. Because when it was just held in New York, I think it's kind of got dull a little bit, and now it's a little bit more exciting. And there's even a guy in Green Bay that got drafted in the third round that stuck around and got to walk out to that crowd, which was exciting. Green Bay going out and drafting a wide receiver for the first time in 2002. I was excited to see that, obviously.
Even a Texas kid.
Even a Texas kid. We got a couple of Texas kids this year. So, but then always happy for the Razorbacks. Tesla and Jackson getting drafted, and then all the other guys getting undrafted free agent signings. It's a special moment, special time of year for these guys that, these are life-changing moments for a lot of people, and a lot of hard work over these years that has now paid off for a lot of athletes, and you just wish them all kinds of success.
I meant to bring you in with the Clay Matthews intro about the Bears still sucking, but that was one of the clips that I forgot to put on the rundown in our B-bar this morning. But no, I like it, and Tommy and I were talking about this last week. It's like you like how the draft is going to different locations because it feels like that other fan bases can get involved in it. It doesn't feel as like secluded as some place. Like there's a place for that in certain award ceremonies and whatnot, but I think it is you're spot on with that take. You mentioned the Arkansas guys, Landon Jackson going to Buffalo, Isaac Tesla going to Detroit. I know it's a longtime rival and a team that you're probably not the biggest fan of, but sure it was exciting to see Isaac drafted to Detroit, his hometown team, Brett.
Oh, definitely. And that's the thing, is you get drafted to your hometown team, somebody he grew up watching and rooted for. Great opportunity. Great, they're Detroit. They're set up for success right now. They have really turned a corner. It's created a lot of chaos for a lot of people in NFC North, and he's going to have a great opportunity to succeed in that program that they have going up there. And so you wish him the best. Again, regardless of which team I played for or everything else, you really root for the Razorbacks because we're a fraternity here as well, and so I hope he has a lot of success there.
So, Brett, what's the most important next steps, whether it's one of these guys that have signed a free agent agreement or one that has been drafted in a middle to late round? But beyond getting there and the initial press conference and finding a place to live and all that, what's the most important steps for these guys to get off on the right start in their rookie year in these first initial months as being a pro?
Yeah, and it's the hardest part of becoming a professional athlete outside of the normal getting your name called, signing contracts, is your rookie year. Everybody got through college. They go to either a bowl game, then they start preparing for the combine. They have their pro days. They have draft. Now they get in there for OTAs. They will have a rookie mini camp that they'll get involved with soon. They'll have a lot of things, and then they have to attend a lot of extra classes that the NFL and NFLPA put on for security and financial things, trying to help these athletes out. So the hardest part is catching your breath and getting in the playbook. And the quicker that you can learn those playbooks, the better, because all of these guys that have been star athletes in high school, coming through college. Now they got to play special teams because we're only going to dress 46. And unless you're a starting quarterback, you're going to play special teams in the NFL. So a lot of these guys are going to have to learn two different positions and learn a different thing, and they got to learn it on the fly. So just really studying that playbook. You take out the class setting of going to classes, and now you're in an NFL class setting, and there's a pen and paper for every meeting. There's a lot of questions that get going on, and they're going to really just hammer that playbook of trying to get them fully involved because they've got to go. There's not a freshman red shirt that comes along with NFL. You're there to play.
So when the first off-season voluntary, I call them, they say they're voluntary, but the first mini camps happen. How important it is for all these guys that were drafted and unsigned to, how important is it for you to show out a little bit in these first initial practices?
It's huge. It's not a make or break, but it's a big deal. It's a big moment because all the eyes are on you, especially the higher the draft pick. People start looking at you and they expect something. And when I say they, I mean the media and the fans, the people that'll be there, that ultimately pay our salary as professional athletes. That's what they do. And so they're going to expect something out of these guys. And these guys are going to show they don't have to do anything special. They don't have to go out there and recreate the wheel. They just got signed on to an NFL franchise, which is a huge deal, and they don't have to do anything different except be themselves and go out there and just perform. And all these guys are able to do that, and they're capable of it. And, if you make a couple of mistakes, it's next play. And you got to have a short-term memory in professional athletics, and these guys will be able to handle that well and just kind of just enjoy the moment because it's a special and unique thing to get into the NFL, and it's a little different than college, and then there's a lot of different moving parts, but these guys will all do well.
Brett Good with us, former Razorback, former Green Bay Packer on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett, you kind of mentioned earlier getting the playbook, like the most important thing. I wonder if you could give us the difference of like guys that were drafted versus the free agent deals. Like Arkansas just had 8 of those guys. Like the level of I'm trying to think of the word grace, I guess that draft guys get maybe compared to the free agent deals. Like what is the difference between them making rosters and them making teams versus the guys that actually were drafted this past weekend?
Yeah, obviously, if you get drafted, you have a few more opportunities for a grace period. It's like a walk-on compared to a scholarship guy at the university level where somebody's put a lot of time and effort into you. But there's a lot of walk-ons, that end up winning the Heisman. There's been a few of those, and there's a lot of undrafted agents in the NFL that go on to do well. And so there is a little bit of grace period. There is a little bit of learning curve, but it's about doing it full speed. It's about not making the same mistakes over and over. And that's where a lot of these guys get judged is, can they take that coaching and do it at a high level? Is what's required for them in the NFL. And so it is a harder road for the undrafted free agents, but it's not an impossible road. And it's like I've always mentioned, do special teams. If you start on kickoff return, punt, and punt return, you're about 98% likely to make an NFL roster. And that's one thing that these guys haven't had to do a whole lot of in their career, but special teams is a third of the game, and they take it very seriously in the NFL. And so these guys that really make themselves known can make some big plays in special teams in training camp as they get going, and then they'll get to preseason and then hopefully make the team for the regular season.
So what's going on with your buddy Aaron Rodgers? He was your quarterback, obviously well documented in the news cycle the last week or so about flying out, meeting the new coaches with the Jets. Basically, he called it a wasted trip on Pat McAfee's show. What is he done? Is he going to play some more? What's your gut tell you that your buddy Aaron Rodgers is going to do next?
I think that's what we all want to know. I think for him, everything that I've seen is he's still working out. He's still staying in shape. He's worked out with a lot of the Steelers guys and some other guys at their facility out there. I don't feel like it's easy for athletes, regardless of if you're a star quarterback or, the bottom of the totem pole, to just give up the sport and have a down year. And I think that he's too much of a competitor to not want to come back and try to right the ship. But he's also, he doesn't have to do anything else in his career, and he's going to go in the Hall of Fame. And he knows that, and it's all about his body. I don't know how his body feels right now. I know whenever I got older and I had to come back after an ACL and then a hamstring, it was harder each year to come back after injuries. And so him being, 40 when he tore his Achilles and coming back and then being able to perform, that takes a really big toll on your body. And so I think he's just really trying to take everything in this offseason and get his body right and make sure that he's ready to put in the effort for the grind of a season. And if he does decide to come back, I think there'll be a team for him. I don't think it's only the Steelers. I think it was like 67 or 68 quarterbacks played in the NFL last year, like some crazy like that, because the injury rate's 100%. And so he'll have an opportunity if he chooses to come back. And I still think that he can perform at a high level, which he did last year. It was just under the microscope, it looks like he didn't do as good as those MVP years, which is tough.
Is there 2 or 3 franchises that you think might be the right fit? Everyone's kind of thought West Coast because that's where his ties are. Obviously, I think you could rule out the Jets clearly, the Packers clearly. Several you can rule out that are set at quarterback, but where might he be in your mind a good fit?
Yeah, I think he would love the West Coast just because he's from out that area. The Steelers has been a huge deal. People talking about that. The Vikings was at one point in the conversation. I think it's just going to be a lot of these guys coming. JJ up in Minnesota, for instance, he's coming off an injury, and so they kind of want to see where his body's at. They want to give him as many opportunities as they can to see where he's at for the season, but they're set up to win right now. And so you have to look at certain things when you're set up to win, and there's some teams out there that are set up to win. If their quarterback is struggling or if their quarterback's not quite 100%, why not bring in somebody that has proven themselves to be, he's a 4-time MVP. He's won a Super Bowl. There's things that you could say about him, but there's things you can say about every quarterback. Every quarterback has issues. Every wide receiver has issues. That's how these guys become the top of the top, is that they're just unique personalities and ultimate competitors. So I think there's probably 3 or 4 teams out there that will be ready to call on him if something happens at the quarterback position.
Brett, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff this morning. Good to catch up, and it was exciting to see it happen in Green Bay this weekend. Hopefully Matthew Golden will be good for the Packers this upcoming year, and the rest of the guys they ended up drafting too.
Yes, I hope so. He's fastest wide receiver out there, and we got 2 wide receivers, so hopefully we'll see if this offense picks up a little bit more.
It's like you juxtapose like players you hated in college go to your favorite NFL team, and then players you loved in college going to your least favorite NFL team. And you're like, I guess we have to kind of cheer for them both now. All right, Brett, good stuff, man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, Brett, good with us. Good to hear his voice and catch up with him here on the Morning Rush. I want to tell you a quick word about my friends at Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. They're getting ready for summertime fishing. Now's the time to book those trips and those getaways. Ty, I know everyone's thinking about with this warmer weather, how do I get outdoors and do some of the things I love? Trout fishing in the natural state is always one of the favorite activities to do outdoors, and Gaston's is the prime spot on the White River to do that. You can go up to the dam really quick with one of their experienced guides. Some of the best trout fishing in North America is right out the back door of Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is their number. That's Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time. I'm interested in seeing what happens with Aaron Rodgers. I know that wasn't really why we had Brett on, but he took the opportunity to ask him because you'd hate to think that what we saw from him last is the end of what will be a Hall of Fame career.
Guys just, their bodies deteriorate. And, he can't he can't throw it like he used to. He can't play like he used to. So, whatever NFL franchise ultimately decides that, hey, he's the best for whatever short period of time they're expecting out of him, it's hinging on the idea of him being healthy and hopefully playing better than he did last year. I don't know. Listen, I loved Aaron Rodgers when he was a Green Bay Packer. Not as big of a fan of him now. He had Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. It's not like his team was lacking skill weapons, and they weren't any good last year. And they went and got Devontae at his request. So I don't know what's going to happen. Steelers, whoever else, it is an interesting question. It's one of the big free agent storylines that we still have out there when it comes to his future and anyone else in the National Football League for that matter.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. If you haven't taken a look at the NBA lines, they're available at the Bet Saracen app. You can do that. I know this weekend. Did you see the finish to some of these games?
Do I have that?
Crazy.
Yeah,
to go in regulation. It's Jokic. Zubac's is on him. And this is for the win. It's close. They're going to call it.
For those that missed it, Jokic missed a three. Aaron Gordon cleaned it up on an alley like Michael Qualls, except it didn't hit the rim. That's the best way to put it.
That was as
Michael
close
Qualls.
as it gets, too.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Close as it gets. Unbelievable. So, hey, it's been a Hot Take Monday. It was an exciting finish. I know there were some other endings that didn't go quite as clean as the NBA would have liked as well. Hey, adventure doesn't have to wait. Neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth-wheel dealer, our friends at Wheels RV. They are stocked up, loaded up, and ready to go no matter the size of your family or your budget. Wheels has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors, and they all come with all their brand new RVs with a lifetime warranty that you'll only find at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Halftime coming up next.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth-wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas.